We're here to say hey and let you in.
What are you waiting for, hon?
Let the episode begin. The girl in
Pink and the boy in
blue. But forget the heteronorms.
We're for all of you.
She from the north.
He from the south.
Millennial to Gen Z. All these differences.
Girl, you're just like me.
Pop culture obsessed, and it's your turn to breathe. So come
dive
dive into the world of the poppy scene. Boom! Hello. Welcome to the Poppy Sea Pod. I'm your co-host, Jacob David.
And I'm your co-host, Sarah Mackenzie. And you are listening to the Poppy Sea
Rewind. Across the next 3 Rewind episodes, we're going to be looking back at some of the messiest and most shocking pop band breakups across the pop culture verse. We are going to be covering your faves over the course of these episodes as we rewind and revisit some of the biggest pop bands we've seen and discuss the impact their split left in the world of Poppy C.
Oh yeah, we're going to chat about the breakups that broke the fans' hearts like no other. And of course, we will be indeed mentioning the ones that left us both in bits.
From huge arguments in some groups to some not even talking at all. Members getting kicked out of the band or walking out mid-tour. We're covering every dramatic moment throughout these breakups, the run-up, the reasons and the aftermath.
There can be so many reasons a group who at the peak of their success suddenly split. Even if when it began they were all good friends and full of energy, the reality of fame and that music industry machine soon creep in. Sudden fame, money and adulation. I mean, the fact that sometimes bands are together from literal teenagers. And of course, the ones that get romantically involved.
Escándalo.
We're looking at you, ABBA.
Does your mother know? Without further ado, I say we should just get into it and hit that rewind button. Ba-boom!
The Poppy Sea Pod. Now, we had to start big. So we're going to go a wee bit back in time. In fact, we're going to go about 65 years back to 1960. Now, this band is about as big as you can get.
I know where we're heading with this.
They are the most successful act in the history of the US Billboard charts.
Wow.
Holding the record for the most number one albums on the UK album charts, 15. That's a lot. And the most number one hits on the US Billboard Hot 100. And the most singles sold in the UK.
You couldn't get any bigger, babe.
Have you guessed yet?
Yes. I have it in front of me. So.
Well, have you guessed? It's, of course, the Beatles. Now, they are the band that essentially invented the heartbreak and shock of a popular band actually splitting. Now, with the obsessed fainting females and then just, showing us how devastating a band split can actually be for the fans.
The OGs.
Really were. People have been arguing for years the reasons behind this band split. And even the band themselves, they just can't seem to agree what really ended it, Jacob.
I personally love the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
I went through a real era as a teenager where
Really?
everything was the Beatles to me. Yeah.
I did not see that.
Did you not see that for me? No.
But I can see why, because they're
iconic.
awesome.
Absolutely iconic. The Beatles were a 4-piece rock band made up of John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison and Ringo Starr, with John and Ringo playing the guitar, Paul on bass and Ringo on the drums. They had the world in their hands and they were the most successful band. 4 lads from Liverpool who conquered the world, but of course, eventually, it all caught up.
Oh, it always does.
In 1966, the Beatles finally decided to stop performing live after years of relentless touring. The plan was to focus on recording, and the results were monumentous.
I love that word.
The release of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, love it, in 1967 changed the musical landscape forever and secured the Beatles' status as cultural icons.
Indeed. The Beatles' impact on pop culture, really, it's a 3-part episode on its own.
Literally.
It really is. But we don't have time for that. So...
On a time crunch, baby.
I mean, we may come round to it.
We'll get back to it.
We'll get back to
We'll get
you.
back to it, guys.
Now, they were literally responsible for actual social movements. They weren't just a band. I mean, when they performed on American TV for the first time, they performed to 74 million people.
That blows my mind.
That's crazy, isn't it?
You don't even hear of anything like that nowadays.
But I mean, I know America's on a bigger scale, but that is insane.
Mm.
I mean, not even X Factor was getting those numbers. And at this time, it wasn't too long after the assassination of JFK, and many people said it actually brought back like a positivity and excitement. And I think it was. They were like seen as this band that were going to make way for big changes. And of course, the British music invasion. That was it. It was the Beatles that started it. British music had never seen this before. And only 3 years after the Beatles invaded America, followed the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, and many more.
Trendsetters.
Yeah. So what caused the end of the Beatles? Well, it's very multi-layered. So we, of course, are going to cover a few of those areas, aren't we?
It's about to get beefy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's quite a few that make up this catastrophic cocktail. Dramatic, eh? That put an end to the Beatles. Okay. But when did they actually end, Jacob?
Right, tell me, Sarah, when did the Beatles actually end?
Well, I'd say officially, Jacob, it was the 10th of April 1970. And do you know what? It was almost by accident.
You're joking.
No. Bloomin' Paul McCartney, he answered a question in an interview. Right, you be Paul.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let me take a second. I need to get into character.
Oh my God, it's like he sat in front of me. I shall be the journalist. I'm going to ask you said question.
Okay. Oh, this is fun. A bit of role play.
Love it. Are you planning another song or album with the Beatles?
No.
Do you see...
Was he that blunt?
Yes. Do you see you and John having a writing partnership again?
No.
Oh. And just like that, he had lit the touch paper for an explosion in the media across the world. Everyone was saying it. The
Beatles have split. Disaster.
I know, right? Fans literally gathered to mourn. And American news outlets, they loved this, reported the fall of the British Empire. But jokes aside, the influence they had at shaping that generation should not and cannot be underestimated. I mean, they were social activists in itself. They created that flower power era.
Vibe.
They brought Eastern culture to our mainstream. That's huge.
Yeah.
Like, actually, even that sentence, they have brought Eastern culture to mainstream. That's crazy, isn't
Fall
it?
out some Liverpool.
I know. Who would have known? What we loved about these boys is they inspired love and joy in a time of war. We were obviously we weren't, but they were dealing with the Vietnam War, the death of JFK, just to kind of get you in that cultural headspace of where they're at. And they had a huge influence in American culture, which is hard to do, never mind for a British band. And of course, they encouraged this idea of youth-driven freedom in the UK. Peace, man. So when they split, so did that idea. And it deeply affected the fans.
Oof. But it also seemed a shock announcement for the rest of the band. Yes. As Paul later said, he didn't mean for this statement to be taken as the announcement of the split. But hey, that's exactly what happened. Ringo said it was news to him and to John Lennon.
Well, this wee sassy pants, he said, oh, it was good to know he was alive. And anyway, you can see I said jokingly, I can't do a Liverpool accent, so I'm not going to try. He didn't quit. I sacked him. Ha ha ha.
Well, it seemed the band blamed Paul for using the split to promote his own album. But of course, we all know now that it wasn't as simple as that. With this insane global domination that these four working class boys are experiencing and holding the responsibility as well of being these trailblazers, seen as cultural gurus, the band had an immense amount of pressure on all of them. And it had become a muddle of ego, drugs,
always
hostility,
oh no,
lack of management.
We'll cover it.
And yes, we will of course mention our girlie, Yoko Ono.
Now, it really began when tragedy struck in 1967 when their music manager, Brian Epstein, sadly died. Now, way back in 1961, during one of their performances at the very infamous now, the Cavern Club in Liverpool, they met Brian Epstein, who was a local store owner and music columnist. Now, he became their manager in 1962, and he was the one who actually encouraged their new clean-cut style. After his death, George Harrison stated, "We didn't know anything about our personal businesses and finances. He had taken care of everything. It was chaos after that."
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
Yeah, because they were just thrown into this world.
Well, they were blooming raking it in.
Well, exactly. And that is where problems can start. Now, Ringo Starr described the group's confusion. He said, "We wondered what we were going to do. Brian was known for managing the egos and the arguments. And when they lost him, they did not know how to communicate well." They were losing money from no longer touring, and without Brian now handling their finances.
It's really sad.
Things weren't going good, honey.
Definitely not for Brian. Sorry.
Now, as we mentioned, there's lots of layers. That was just one. But the strain of the Beatles' cultural phenomenon should not be underestimated.
Not at all.
It's insane, isn't it? They took over the world. I think the fact that not only we know today that they had this lasting impact on pop culture, it was happening in real time for them. It sparked this youth-driven change and influence. They started the British invasion, like we mentioned, and it started to, shift this whole thing across the music industry. So we were used to American artists like Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry.
They had the hold on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America were always on top when it came to that. But enter the Beatles.
Ha ha ha.
We are here. And they left the door open for so many more. We wouldn't have had the Rolling Stones, Dusty Springfield, and The Who taking over America if it wasn't for them. But what many people say is one of the biggest reasons is John versus Paul.
Oof, John and Paul, where do we begin? Although they were a songwriting partnership made in heaven, it didn't last long. Soon became hell. And there were ripples of hostility and competition between the two lead men, it would be fair to say.
Yeah, fair.
In a 2018 interview with Howard Stern, Paul McCartney said that Lennon was the actual cause of the breakup.
Oh, meow.
Oh dear, we're going to try this. There was a meeting where John came in and said, "Hey guys, I'm leaving the group," Paul said.
That's quite good,
I really don't think, but I'll take the compliment.
I just can't do Liverpool.
That wasn't Liverpool. He doesn't really have a Liverpool accent anymore.
No.
I don't think it's rumbling sort of. You know what? I'm going to cut the accent so we can stick to the facts, because even myself, I'm getting distracted.
I'll see. Paul said,
all that money we'd earned and all that fame we earned was going down the pan. There was this guy that was going to take it all. It was that close. I was going, no, guys, we can keep it. We don't have to give it to this guy.
Now, drama in the camp. Now, this is because, who is this guy, Jacob? Let me explain.
I want to know.
Well, when Brian died, obviously, they needed a new manager. But the band wanted Rolling Stones manager, Klein, to take over. But Paul, he did not. He wanted his soon-to-be father-in-law, good old Linda McCartney, does a lovely sausage, and he just didn't trust Klein. And
Sorry, father-in-law, Linda McCartney.
Linda McCartney's father.
Right.
Is that what I said? Oh, Linda. Always makes me think of my sister. Linda McCartney made her go vegetarian.
Aww.
Back in the 90s. She was a groundbreaker, our Linda. But yeah, and I can kind of see why the band maybe wouldn't want Paul's father-in-law to be their manager.
I mean, both of these are giving conflicts of interest, because how are we going to have the manager of the Rolling Stones also be the manager of the Beatles?
Such a point.
But how are we also going to have one of the band members' daddy-in-law being the manager?
Yeah, not a good idea at all. But apparently, it turned out Paul was right, as they hired Alan Klein, the one that he didn't want, and this decision, of course, caused a rift between the band members. As the Beatles grew up and they matured, the once formidable songwriting partnership of Lennon and McCartney sadly began to fray at the edges. Paul continued to gravitate towards melodically driven pop-oriented songs.
It's not bad.
Yeah, quite good, eh? While John ventured into more experimental avant-garde territory.
Just sound high and you're good.
Yeah, I think that's it. George Harrison was also emerging as a really talented songwriter. You know where I'm going with this? They're all finding their own way. And resentment towards Paul McCartney was really taking control of the band.
It really started to seep on in.
But what I think goes down in history...
It's the iconic relationship, isn't it?
It's Yoko. Poor ghetto.
Right, because I'm sorry, poor Yoko really gets the rough end of the stick here. Because, of course, it can never be the boys' fault.
Right, exactly. We are, of course, going to cover one of the most used reasons for this band split, and it is Yoko Ono. Some people still today blame her. Like, they're serious. Yeah. And of course, like Jacob just said, can't be the four men that are arguing. Oh no, it's going to fall on the women. So it's so bloody typical and it's really frustrating. But
It's tired.
It really is.
It's so tired.
But in this case, it was the most beloved and famous band. If you think about it, people wanted someone to blame. And my goodness, they were out for her blood. I guess it was an easy target and easier to believe than actually the fact that those four men wanted to split.
Well, because they've also been sold the image. These fans have all been sold the images that this is like this wonderfully special bond of four best friends where everything is perfect and they're living their dream. So it couldn't have been any of them.
Yeah. The sad bit is she endured so much slander. There was sexist comments, racist commentary in the media, and of course she was used as that scapegoat. Now, we should say that the relationship with Yoko Ono, of course, did have an impact on the band. It's not the reason they split, but it did have an impact. And I think we have to acknowledge that. You know, towards the end of the career of the band, the other guys would get really annoyed that she was hanging out in the studio during recordings. And I guess that would be quite annoying.
Right, but like, is that her fault or is that the fault of the person that's invited her there, who's already in the group, that knows the dynamic of the group, who is the one knowledgeable enough to say whether that would affect the dynamic of the group or not?
Such a point. Yeah, it's so true. But no, we can't blame John. He's a man. To blame the entire split on her is just not realistic or fair. Now, she has said herself, I don't think I could have broken up four very strong people like them. Ono has went on to say, even if you tried. So there must have been something that happened within them.
Maybe she did try.
No wonder they're coming for her. She's like, guys, I tried.
I tried my best, guys.
They did it all with themselves. So she was saying that something happened within them, not an outside force at all. And it seems Paul McCartney has agreed with her because in a 2013 interview, he said, she certainly didn't break the group up. He went on to say, I don't think you can blame her for anything. So there you go. A Beatle himself has confirmed it. So stop blaming the women.
Leave Yoko alone. Gosh, all these contributing factors. On top of all this, they're bloody exhausted. Exhausted from, of course, the relentless schedule of being the biggest group in the world, but also the arguments about money, fame, and the arguments with each other, different artistic directions, of course. But enormous factor, sadly, was John Lennon and his heroin use. It was getting increasingly worse during this time. And although everyone in the band had experimented with drugs and were very open about it, probably most famous, of course, for Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. But Lennon's heroin use was a taboo subject for the band. And in 1970, he went cold turkey. That's hard for a band to deal with and carry on from also. On the flip side, from the business side of it all, you're watching your friend go through that.
Yeah, I think that must have been really tough. And a kind of weird dynamic of they were so known for being experimental with drugs, but heroin, a bit of a different ballgame. So you can see there are so many reasons that led to the split of the biggest band in the world. And we cannot mention, of course, 10 years after their split, what happened.
10 years after the Beatles split on the 8th of December 1980, John Lennon was shot dead outside his apartment in New York by crazed fan Mark Chapman. We have lost many amazing artists, but rare someone who had such an impact on society, art, music, and culture. The death of John Lennon was a defining pop culture moment that shook the entire world and really was the ultimate death of the Beatles. Fans knew that, of course, a reunion would now never be possible. Apart from the tragic and senseless loss, it was also the loss of the Beatles forever.
Such a sad ending to one of the most incredible bands, but oh my goodness, their legacy sure does live on.
Like no other.
Yeah. And another significant split in this era.
Let's get into that after this. From the OG boy group to shake the world to the OG girl group to shake it up, the Supremes truly reigned supreme and left us an astonishing legacy, and as did their breakup and the following aftermath.
Ooh.
The Supremes were the defining sound of Motown, often credited as being the artists who really brought it into the mainstream. Formed in 1959 and originally named the Premettes before the rebrand of the Supremes in 1961, the original group lineup consisted of Florence Ballard, Mary Wilson, Betty McGlowan, and Diana Ross. Now, our girlie Betty didn't last as long.
I was going to say.
And after a brief replacement with Barbara Martin, she went too, and they became a trio. A lovely little trio, rotating. Who sang lead on which song? It's giving equal opportunity.
Oh, if only that could have stayed that way.
Fun fact too, it was Florence Ballard and Mary Wilson initially selected for the group, and they themselves recruited Diana as Mary's school friend to join the group.
Oh, the irony.
If only they had have known.
They would not have asked her in.
Now, an important figure in the story of the Supremes is Berry Gordy. Berry Gordy was the founder and president of Motown Records and signed the girlies in 1961 after an initial audition back in 1960.
So this really is the exact same time as the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Because I would frame this in my mind earlier.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. But yep, the Motown musical is coming back to me.
I feel like the Beatles just had so many eras
Maybe that's
visually
it.
that we associate with. The Supremes are very...
Yeah, they looked of their time.
Yeah. Diana in the front, other girlies get to the back. But we'll get to that part.
Yeah.
Now, Berry was also the reason for their rebrand from the Premettes to the Supremes. And later in their career would also be the man responsible for another significant rebrand, shifting much more focus to one lady in particular, who he had quite the affinity for. But like I said, we're going to get to that part in a little bit.
Can't wait.
Now, whilst it took a hot minute for the Supremes' career to really take off, when it did, whew, boy, did it take off. After their first single to break through and reach some mainstream success in 1963, Berry Gordy swiftly made Diana Ross the official lead vocalist of the group, believing her softer voice and delicate appearance would be more palatable to a wider and whiter audience. The group continued to go from strength to strength from there. The Supremes broke worldwide records for female groups, many to this day never beaten, matched, or even nearly matched.
That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Considering how many amazing girl groups we've had since then. That is remarkable.
In 1964, they began a string of 5 consecutive number 1 hit singles on the Billboard charts. 5 of in total 12 number 1 hits on the Billboard charts.
Wow. That's insane.
Right.
Girls, they had it.
Their success even carried over the pond to us here in the UK as well, with Baby Love being the first ever song by an all-female group to reach the number 1 spot here on our charts.
Yes, girlies.
The adoration for the Supremes and the ladies' success was rampant, and Berry Gordy had these ladies churning out albums faster than our Tay-Tay Swift.
That's saying something.
That's saying something. In 1965 alone, they released 4 albums full of hits.
Oh my God.
Talk about overworked.
They did not get a night in front of the telly, did they?
The Supremes were setting the bar, raising it, and kicking it out altogether, like no other girl group. However, amongst all of this success, by 1966, tensions and resentments were beginning to build up within the group. President of Motown Records, Berry Gordy, and Diana Ross had been sharing a budding romantic affair, which had developed into a relationship. Berry had set higher sights for Diana, and his favouritism towards her when it came to business decisions within the group would ultimately mark the end of the Supremes as we knew it, with his plans to set up Diana for a solo career unlike any other, at the expense of the remaining ladies.
Oh, once again, a man thinking with his tiddler.
He attempted to remove Diana Ross from the group to kickstart her solo career, with a replacement for Diana already waiting in the wings.
Oh my God, not even one of the girls that were in it. Like you'd think, oh, we'll promote her to lead singer.
Shady boots. This didn't follow through the first time, however. So instead, we got the big second rebrand for the group. In 1967, the ladies went from the name of The Supremes to the name of Diana Ross and The Supremes.
Ouch.
Now you can't tell me that is not a burn for Mary and Florence.
Can you imagine it being like Girls Aloud, rebranded, Cheryl and the Girls Aloud?
You know what, Sarah? It's funny you should say that because that did end up happening with the Pussycat Dolls.
Oh my God, yeah.
I know.
But then a similar end, didn't it? They were like, not having that.
They were not happy girlies.
I mean, you didn't really need to put a name on it. We already knew that's what they were doing.
Well, we already knew it was Nicole Scherzinger and the others were boogieing around in the background. Yeah. Love the dolls.
Love the drama.
Back to the Supremes, the ladies were relegated to nothing more than backup singers, unable to even speak at press events or interviews, with Diana instructed to do all the talking for the group.
Oh, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, girl, I made this group. I invited you.
Imagine being the one to invite someone to the group and then you get tossed to the back.
Is it bad that I'm about to say kind of says a lot about Diana? Like, I wouldn't be able to do this to
I wouldn't be able to do it to my friends.
Nah. Especially that brought
Even
me
to
in.
my colleagues.
Yeah.
But you know what? What do they say? It's show business, not show friendship.
That's right. Yeah.
I can't do that though.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull the snaky snake moves. Sorry, don't want to call Diana a snake, but a spade is a spade.
I'm going to agree with that.
Look, it worked for her.
I was going to say it worked, didn't it? And that's why some people that make it to the top have got to be a bit savage.
Yeah. Sadly, this is when things became even messier within the group, understandably. The insistent favouritism towards Diana, whilst casting the other ladies and their talents aside, had, by this point, really taken its toll on the ladies, particularly with Florence Ballard. She became very vocal about Berry Gordy and Motown Records' influence in damaging the group's once sisterly dynamic. Florence struggled deeply with depression and at this time began to self-medicate with alcohol. It became a slippery slope and Florence began missing select rehearsals and recording sessions. On numerous occasions, Berry Gordy attempted to replace her with other singers. However, Florence would do her best to bounce back to keep her spot in the group secure.
Oh, poor Florence.
I will also add, throughout all of this internal chaos in the group, they were still churning out albums, even now appearing in movies and topping the charts. I mean, where did the girls find the time?
I know, right?
Especially Diana. She's got a relationship on the side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, quite a big one. Clearly, that's working to her advantage.
It was in July 1967 in rehearsals for a show at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas. For the Drag Race fans out there, yes, this is now where they perform Drag Race live.
I've stayed there.
Are you joking?
No, that's where I stayed in Vegas.
Wow. Gosh, all this linked history.
Right?
Wildness.
Me, the drag queen.
And of course, the Supremes.
Yes.
Florence showed up drunk to this rehearsal. Gordy was furious and kicked her out of the group on the spot, with Cindy Birdsong taking her place within the group immediately.
If ever there was a name for a singer, Cindy Birdsong.
Isn't it beautiful? It's
lovely.
It's very melodic.
Yeah.
Love that for you, Cindy. Shady facts.
Oh, I'm here.
Even after kicking out Florence from the group, Gordy and Motown Records kept her vocals on tracks she had recorded, which were released in later years.
Oh, and boy, does that continue down the line in the music industry.
Florence sued them for additional royalty payments. However, the case got thrown out.
Oh, that's rubbish.
It only gets more rubbish for our flow. Florence's life would have a tragic trajectory following her ousting from the Supremes. Ballard worked hard at attempting a solo career in the years that followed. She released 2 solo singles which, despite her fantastic voice, sadly saw little success, and the album, which was initially planned, was shelved by the label and Florence subsequently dropped. Between the heartbreak and disappointment of her music career and going on to raise 3 children as a single mother in the 70s with little income, Florence's ongoing battle with addiction and alcoholism became too much to balance, and Florence tragically passed away at the young age of 32 from a heart attack.
32?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so sad. Do you know, apart from like the obvious reasons, the music industry just spits them out, don't they? It's such
No mercy.
No, it's brutal. That's really sad and such a loss of a talent.
Exactly. A talent that never even got its time to shine like it should have.
God. It's just really shitty what happened to her. Really rubbish. And also, not what I thought, because Dreamgirls did not show me that.
Sarah, we're going to get to the girls. We're going to get to the Dream Girls. But we're sticking to the Supremes for now. And the years that followed for the Supremes, or should we now say, Diana Ross and the Supremes, saw continued success. Despite a very different dynamic for the group and continued tensions, things became far more geared towards preparing for Diana's inevitable solo career launch. But what would that mean for the Supremes, I hear you ask?
What would that mean for the Supremes?
Thank you, Sarah. Well, in January 1970, during a performance at the Frontier Hotel in Las Vegas, Diana Ross introduced a replacement to the audience.
What?
Yeah. They brought out Jean Terrell and announced Diana's departure from the band, with Jean joining the group to continue on with the Supremes.
What way to announce?
Right. Now from here, Diana Ross well and truly became an icon like no other. Her solo career throughout the 70s soared to new heights, and at this point, we look back and acknowledge that Diana is an icon like no other. Her solo music broke records for female solo artists, and she crossed the line into becoming an actress. One of the first singers to tread both paths, now a route that we do see many singers take. I remember watching performances of her as a child, wearing these like Bob Mackie gowns and being absolutely transfixed by this elegant, ethereal being performing on stage. She does just have an aura to her that is so alluring.
Yeah, there's no taking away that she had that je ne sais quoi, that star quality.
Clearly Berry Gordy thought so too.
He obviously enjoyed those Bob Mackie gowns.
The Beyonce of her time, quite frankly.
Literally.
She set the mold for band members to break away and create an even bigger solo career than the original band. She paved the way for the likes of Queen Bee, Nicole Scherzinger, Robbie Williams, and our Shezza.
Oh.
Now, our girlies over in the Supremes,
Oh yeah.
those girls, they continued on,
Oh.
riding with the power that the name and brand held by that point. They reverted back to their name of the Supremes, and although not quite maintaining the same astronomical success, they saw very good success still without Diana, still churning out albums.
Good for them.
However, with only one original member left in the form of Mary Wilson, the group didn't quite evoke that same magic they once used to, and they didn't reach quite the same chart success as before. Members began rotating again, and by 1977, when Mary Wilson said see ya after their 29th studio album.
29th studio album. That's insane.
This is when the Supremes officially disbanded.
Well, I mean, I think they've earned a break. 29 albums.
Yeah, I mean, the Supremes were the OG girl group to define pop culture. And the story of their rise to fame and dramatic group breakup still entices millions, with the tale controversially inspiring the iconic musical and movie Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls. Oh, Dreamgirls.
I am obsessed with Dream. You know.
Oh, yes.
How obsessed I am.
Yes.
Not only was it, an hour ago, I was
Literally.
singing It's All Over, word for word, every single role, of course.
I mean, we all love that album soundtrack. It's insanely good. But what we love more is the drama.
Now, for those that do know the show, Dreamgirls, whether it be the stage production or the 2006 movie, you'll have listened to some of the circumstances and dramatic moments we've discussed here and already be picking up on the similarities and the mirrored situations between the show and the real story behind the Supremes. This was quite the controversy when the show first debuted in 1981, as from the smaller details to the overarching journeys of the characters, the similarities were striking.
Also, I didn't realise it was 1981. That's not that long after it's happened.
Right,
Yeah.
that's 5 years after they officially disbanded.
Ooh, okay. That's
Juicy.
fresh, yeah.
Can you imagine that's like us getting a Little Mix musical now?
Oh my God, it is, yeah.
Who would play Jessie and Nelson?
I was just about to say that.
Bolligged. Tom Iron, the writer of Dreamgirls, did his best to deny any similarities, saying, I didn't grow up with the Supremes. I grew up with the Shirelles.
Oh.
Dreamgirls isn't about any one group. It's a cavalcade of black Motown singers. The Shirelles, the Chiffons, Martha and the Vandellas, Little Richard and Stevie Wonder. All the characters are larger than life. Expertly deflected there, Tom, but I don't know how many people are going to be buying that, to be quite
But
honest.
mainly, Tom, the Supremes.
Yes, yeah. Neglects to mention that one in his
Yeah,
list of
funny
inspirations. Yeah. Mary Wilson herself has weighed in on the discourse on various occasions,
Well, what's she been saying?
often stating that the work of Dreamgirls is a great piece of art. Yeah, it has its similarities to the real story, but it isn't gospel nor fundamental canon to the truth. However, on other occasions, She has also stated that Dreamgirls was closer to the truth than they even know.
She had a wee shady and she was like, right, guys, Dreamgirls is closer than anything.
Well, she even titled her 1986 autobiography, Dream Girl. My life as a Supreme.
She was just
The
cashing in.
art of subtlety with Mary is something.
She's good with the marketing there.
Let's be honest, that gives far more weight to the show's biographical credibility when it comes to the Supremes.
I mean, yeah, a literal Supreme is saying, that's pretty much what happened.
Well, the show very carefully treads the line between the obvious similarities and parallels to the story of the Supremes, but seemingly with just enough differences to avoid a potential lawsuit from Diana Ross or Berry Gordy. It is undeniable that the breakup of the Supremes had the most enormous ripple effect in pop culture. I mean, just think about it, Sarah. If it wasn't for the breakup, we wouldn't have had Dreamgirls. Which means we'd never have had Beyonce's Listen.
Oh my goodness.
Which means we'd never have had the Alexandra Burke and Beyonce duet at the X Factor final in 2008. Ugh.
Oh, that ripple effect is real.
Oh, it's strong. Now, from one extra moment to a very extra band, this band has provided us with so many songs that are guaranteed floor fillers and some of the best songs to sing drunk at karaoke, to be honest with you. It is, of course, ABBA.
ABBA. Yes, they shot to fame in the 1970s and still one of the most loved bands today as they continue to sell out shows without actually being there. Genius business move, and it's created a very interesting conversation around AI, technology, the idea of live performance. It's all got a wee bit crazy, to be honest. But we'll get to that. Hang on. Because it was Eurovision 1974 when they won for Sweden with the absolute bop Waterloo and shot to fame.
Love it.
Do you have a favourite ABBA song?
Oh my gosh. That's taking me so off guard because I got too many.
It is a really hard question.
Oh my gosh, I actually can't.
I think if I...
There's just so many for different reasons.
Yeah.
I do love Angel Eyes.
Oh, did not expect you to say that.
Yeah, I love a underrated Bop Me.
Yeah, I like that. I know what you mean. It depends what mood I'm in. I do love a bit of gimme, gimme, gimme a man.
Yeah, that's all that comes out every night we go out on. Like that is whenever that song is always played.
The winner takes it all.
The loser. That song used to make me cry because it reminded me of my dead hamster.
In what way?
Shout out to Dougal.
Dougal? How did Dougal die?
He lost all of his hair.
But why? Why that song?
I think it's because he died the same time the Mamma Mia movie came out.
Oh, Dougal.
And when Meryl Streep was there waving around that shawl, it just really got me in the feels.
When Pierce Brosnan started singing, Dougal was like,
No,
right,
no, we're stopping.
I'm out.
Yeah. That's when Dougal offed himself and said, I can't be dealing with this
His
nonsense
hair
any longer.
literally fell out. And he was like, no. Well, Jacob, darling, it's not just us and our mums.
Or Dougal.
Or Dougal. That can't help but grab a hairbrush. Oh, Dougal didn't have any hair.
That's a touchy subject, Sarah.
But in his heyday, they were literally one of the biggest selling bands and they sold over 350 million records.
Wowza.
Indeed. Now, for the time, and I'm going to say, I could argue that it would be the same today, a band with two married couples was deemed a very risky by the music industry. And I get why. Because, you know, it's rooted in the idea that sex sells. But it turned out it was part of ABBA's allure. Now, they broke the traditional idea of a pop band and they went on to shape pop culture to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And the ABBA name, of course, is made up of the members. Now, bear with me as I butcher their names. I'm not the best with, like, pronunciation of names, so we'll see how this goes.
Okay. I love that we gave this part to you.
I know. It's almost comical. Agnetha Fältskog. I'd say not bad. This one I can't do very well. Bjorn Ulvaeus, Benny Andersson, and Anna Fridlundstad, which is the most fun one to say.
Well done.
Thank you, darling. Maybe Swedish is my calling.
Well, doubtful.
Still butchered a few.
So, ABBA was made up of two romantic couples from the start who were already together when they formed the band in 1972. Benny Andersson and Annifrid Lyngstad.
Well done.
Thank you, that was my first go. Who met in 1969. By 1971, they were living together, but didn't marry until 1978, during the height of ABBA's success. That must have been such like a whirlwind.
Yeah, they're like, it's hot. Let's get married.
Let's do it. However, after only 2 years of marriage, they separated and were divorced in 1981. Divorce, babes, divorce.
Sad.
The split came as Benny admitted he had met someone else who he went on to marry in the same year.
Right?
Rude.
Drama. I'm sorry, but that would really piss me off. Can you imagine?
You're telling me we've just split up, we just got divorced, we got to carry on working together, now you're going to come and marry some other girlie in the same freaking year.
Well, Jacob, no wonder the band split up.
That was just one half of it.
Right? The other couple were Agnetha and Bjorn. Now, they fell in love at 19 after meeting him in a cafe.
Sounds quite nice to start with.
Now, they married in 1971 and they actually had some children together.
Oh, dear.
Bloody breeders. Now, their first child, Linda, she was born in 1973, while their son Peter was born in 1977. Now, after around 7 years as a successful band, which is quite a time, the stresses of touring did lead the couple to split in 1979. Now, if you're keeping up with these dates, this is all happening around the same time for both couples. Now, it seems they just drifted apart and had a fairly amicable split. But they have admitted they made out that it was a smoother split.
I was going to say, how do you drift apart whilst you're married, working together, living together, touring together, writing together, recording together? Make it make sense.
That's definitely the press statement.
Yes.
We've just drifted apart.
That's got PR written all over it.
Yeah. Yes, because the reality was you sniffed it right out. Now, this is brutal. Agnetha moved out just before Christmas Day of 1979. And a week after, Bjorn met Lena Kaldaso.
Stop yourself immediately.
Definitely not how you say her last name. At Benny's New Year party. So literally a week. Yeah. And they married her a year later. And if you did the maths right, yep, you got it. Both men married their new partners in the same year, 1981. How brutal. So they all tried a return to the studio in 1982. So this is now both men are remarried.
Yeah.
Yeah. And funny that just wasn't the same.
Wasn't working out.
No.
That's kind of understandable.
And although their split was mainly due to their personal life, let's be real, professionally, they weren't achieving the same success. But then 20 years after they had first broke through, they began to reappear into the pop culture conscience with ABBA Gold.
Oh.
Yes. This was certainly when I was introduced to the group. I was probably about 5 and ABBA Gold was constantly on in my mum's car.
Love that. I think for me, the gateway was the Mamma Mia movie.
Yeah. Okay. We shall come to that. Hold your horses, hen. Now, the band went their separate ways in 1982. Agnetha has later admitted that she found it very hard being in the band after the breakup.
Don't blame her.
Right? She told The Standard that she was emotionally mangled by the split. Now, within a week of their divorce, we know Bjorn had a new girlfriend. Well, poor Agnetha had counselling.
If only he had gone to counselling too.
Right.
It's funny, actually. I hate gender stereotypes, but we see it so often in straight relationships when a relationship falls apart and, you know, the women tend to
go and work on themselves.
Exactly.
Yep.
And the men will go find somewhere else to put it.
Exactly, because they need looked after by someone else. Of course, everybody knows that famous line that poor woman had to sing after they split.
The lyrics of the songs they had to sing got so savage.
Right?
After they split up.
And I think the guys have come away from it like...
It's funny because it always comes across that they're really lovely, kind, gentlemanly people. And that may be the case. You know, they're old and fuzzy now, so everyone's old, cute. Everyone's cute when they're old and fuzzy. Do you know what I mean?
But I do agree, Jacob. The more you explore ABBA, the more these men... I mean, firstly, they're pissing me right off. But also, they really pulled some dickish moves. Like, it wasn't cool.
But you know what? To my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but the girlies didn't speak much English. They sang the lyrics they were given, but they didn't necessarily understand what they were singing. So can you imagine? It's like taking the right piss because the men could speak English, so they knew exactly what they were getting them to say.
That's even worse.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Now, in case you're wondering what line I'm referring to, it's ABBA's hit, The Winner Takes It All.
Oh, don't. You're going to remind me of my hamster.
Oh, well, the line she had to sing was, tell me, does she kiss like I used to kiss you?
Oh my God.
I know. And she's a better woman than me because she's given us a classic pop song, which you would not have got with me because I would have said no. I'd have been like, absolutely not, I'm out. Sorry. She did go on to say that I don't mind sharing it with the public. It didn't feel wrong. There is so much in that song. It was a mixture of what I felt and what Bjorn felt, but also what Benny and Frida had went through. So it's actually quite sad. Now, they went with the classic creative differences when they split. Bjorn...
God, the PR team for ABBA weren't very original, were they?
I know. Bjorn, who, by the way, always seems to be the one that we hear from, has said that we ended because we felt the energy was running out in the studio. We didn't... yeah. And we didn't have as much fun in the studio. Wonder why? Despite going their separate ways, they claim they actually never officially broke up.
Oh.
And Bjorn said, we never said that's it. We've split. We'll never reunite again. We never said that. 4 decades later, and finally, that reunion happened.
Except none of them were there.
Right. And not the way anyone expected.
No.
No one expected the huge success of the one and only ABBA Voyage.
Voyage, oh baby.
Or is it just ABBA Voyage?
Voyage.
Yeah. So, if you don't know what this is, it's a virtual concert in a purpose-built arena. The avatars, or should I say, the avatars.
Oh, stop yourself, Sarah Mackenzie.
I cannot say I coined it. But they appear how they looked in 1979. And I'll be real, it's the trippiest thing I've ever seen.
Well, you've been quite a few times. You just keep going back for more.
Oh, I just love it. I have been twice. Have you been?
I'm yet to go.
I would say...
I'm a fake fan.
Yeah, it's definitely... I mean, that's because it's expensive. I just know people in the right places. It is mind-blowing, but it does make you think, what? I'm actually clapping a screen here.
Where is this going?
Yes.
That's the darker side of the conversation that is not for this podcast.
Exactly. Well, look, Jacob, their split obviously had a massive impact on pop culture. And you know, I actually think the very fact that they did split when they did, all those years ago, we had this lack of them performing these beloved songs and everyone was missing ABBA.
The desire was there.
You got it. So out of their split, we got some absolute gems of pop culture. The first one I would say was our introduction, being ABBA Gold.
Oh, yeah.
And they gained a new generation of ABBA lovers. But it got better, didn't it?
After ABBA Gold, this is where I get a bit excited. In 1999 came the musical Mamma Mia. And then almost 10 years later came the Mamma Mia movies. The first in 2008. And this changed my life.
You're obsessed with these, aren't you?
It was just, I was 9 years old.
Oh, perfect, yeah.
And I literally remember everything about the day I went to see it so clearly. It was the last day of year 4 at school. And
little baby
before,
Jacob.
yeah, before summer. I went to see it 2 or 3 times in the cinema.
Wow.
I was obsessed from then on. And then that's when ABBA Gold in the car was like on constant rotation.
Yeah.
And by the time I'd waited nearly 10 years for the second movie, it was 10 years. Oh my gosh, it was 10 years. The second movie was 2018.
Yeah, I didn't realise that.
There was such a big gap. And trust me, I was waiting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, from another kind of generation, this old millennial over here, what was really sweet was my now sister-in-law, who's now 20. I remember singing and dancing in the living room watching ABBA, and she was like 5 and she was obsessed. What this did was it did merge the generations.
Absolutely. Mamma Mia was my gateway to loving ABBA.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
And you say we did have to wait quite a while for the movie sequel.
And of course, we got the ultimate Hun moment when Cher was added to the cast for the sequel. Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Fernando.
Wowzers.
What a moment, Jacob, what a moment. And it didn't stop there. In 2019, Mamma Mia the Party. Were your man from Blue?
What?
What's the one from Blue? Not Lee, not Simon.
Duncan.
Not Duncan.
Anthony.
That's your one. Performs in the musical and you have your dinner. Have you seen this?
No.
Have you not? It
What?
looks amazing. It's essentially like a mini musical while you have dinner and then you have a party.
Oh, nice.
We should go. And then, of course, this year, 2024, we had a TV show finding the next Mamma Mia star for the West End show and have fantastic lineup of judges, may I add. Amber Riley, Alan Carr, Jessie Ware, and our very own Queen Elsa, Samantha Bart.
What a lineup.
Yeah, really good. And it was quite fun. Now, ABBA have had some new songs in 2018, which was the first time they recorded together in 35 years.
Yeesh. All in the same room?
All in the same room, finally.
Has that been confirmed or?
I've confirmed it. You know, they've done numerous appearances.
They've done a lot of
now.
events together
Yeah.
as before, which
Because-
is wild to think they've been able to do that, really.
Well,
the dust has settled.
But I could say that the main reason that it's so harmonious, Jacob, is ka-ching! They are each worth, individually, between 200 and 300 million. Isn't that mad?
Raking it in.
And continuing to with their little ABBA cars.
Wow, ABBA, you really did do the damn thing.
The legacy of ABBA is truly incredible. But these events and movies have become family favourites and they really do, like we say, connect generations.
Definitely.
So regardless of divorce, ABBA, it seems, will live on forever.
Woo.
So shall we just say,
Thank you for the music.
Well, Jacob, first came the Beatles with their millions of adoring and screaming fans. And when the boy band of their dreams split, oh my goodness, did it leave a generation of shattered hearts. But then, 30 years later, it was my generation's turn.
Oh, gosh.
Yep. Every millennial I know loved a bit of Take That.
Oh, yes.
And my goodness, did those boys break some hearts. Now, where did it all begin? Now, Take That was started by Nigel Martin Smith. Thank you, Nigel. Now, he had an idea to make an English version of New Kids on the Block.
The right stuff.
Yes! You're just such a little special part of Gen Z because I don't think many people would know New Kids on the Block.
But that's why I'm your Poppy C guru. Do you know what I mean?
So Nigel found 5 young lads from Manchester and they were a mixture of dancers, mainly breakdancing. So that's a shout out to our Jason and Howard. And of course, our singers, Mark and Robbie, with the idea that songwriter Gary would be the front man. Now let's remember that fact for later on in this story. Robbie
I see what you did there.
was the youngest and the last member to join. And that's all thanks to his mum answering a wee ad in the paper for a boy band audition. Simpler times. And he joined Take That at a mere 16. That's mad.
It's too young.
Yeah. Yeah.
But wait till we get to Fifth Harmony.
Wait till we get to Sugar Babes. Now, these shirtless, dancing, cheeky and very gorgeous bunch of boys had a few unsuccessful songs. And then their breakthrough hit with It Only Takes a Minute, Girl.
Fall in love.
Fall in love. Yes.
We're not singers.
That was released in 1991 and there was no looking back. I should probably apologise. I can't help but sing every song title.
I just feel like it gives you listeners a better experience.
Yeah, especially when got those headphones on.
Yeah, especially with our vocals at the helm. Yeah.
Right. Now, I was thinking back, Jacob, as a kid or teen girl, tween, watching their videos and their performances, they were so fit.
You know what? I'm not one for boy groups personally, but having done the research,
Yes.
we've gone back and looked at some music videos, and for Take That, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, everybody got it.
Yeah.
And I think what would have initially gone over my head was how camp. And, yeah. And how homoerotic they were.
Naughty, yes.
Hello. Obviously, they were directly targeting teenage girls and, of course, our teen gay boys. And Take That as just one of our reasons for our strong allyship. Now, kidding aside, right, one of the main reasons that I think so many women and gay men do feel this kind of kinship between each other is because of how we've both been mistreated by straight men. But
United by trauma.
right? We all,
No,
but we
yeah.
do. If you think about it, we try and create these safe spaces where we have kind of common loves and that are mainly hetero male free, like boy bands, because they weren't for the straight boys.
Well, the straight boys didn't want to admit if they enjoyed a Take That song
Exactly.
or a One Direction song in my day and age.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
I think that is a really direct comparison. If you didn't know of Take That in the 90s, or you weren't born, you
have
wouldn't
something
know.
to do with it, yeah.
But we're talking 1D level. It
Yeah.
was huge.
In the UK.
In the UK, yes. Yeah, Take That didn't make it to America.
Sorry, boys. Get them for yourself.
Yeah. Looking back, there always tends to be one member of a boy band. Management, let's say, play off as quite sexually ambiguous. So when you think about it, there's one being pushed as like quite cute, sexy, but appealing to both the girlies and the boys. Thinking like your Nick Carter of Backstreet Boys, your Rich from Five, your Mark of Take That.
Ah.
I mean, Jacob, I literally only found out that Mark was straight
What?
like 8 years ago or something.
What?
On it was in my head. I was like, oh yeah, he's the gay one.
Oh my God.
But I'm like, I don't know why, but I
think
know
a
why.
lot of boys like had a crush on him and his little crop top.
Exactly. This
Yeah,
is why.
yeah.
Like I can say this now. I'm going, I don't know why I thought that. Just you go to our Instagram page and you'll see exactly why I thought this. And although this tactic worked as a great marketing strategy, the reality was the 90s, being gay, it was not an easy thing. And it wasn't openly celebrated. And let's be real, it was really bloody homophobic at this time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would just have had openly gay men in the band rather than suggestions of it. It's infuriating, and obviously, homophobia needs to get in the fucking bin. It drives me mad.
Well, I agree. No, but what's even sadder is that whilst being gay is so much more openly accepted in society now, of course, in the music business, when it comes to boy bands, despite having, you get like a token gay in some bands these days, it's really still not as accepted. The rumours that swirled around members of One Direction and their sexuality was allegedly met with extremely harsh action from those above, let's just say, without naming names or companies. I think you can all probably guess who. They believed it would affect their profitability as a band and their marketability. Because, of course, the tween girl fans needed to buy into this idea that they could possibly be with these boys. And if they were going to be openly gay, then that just wasn't never going to be an option.
Oh, it makes me so mad.
Gay is a big no-no for the businesses.
Not in our world.
not in the world of Puppy Sue, baby.
Now, what I actually found quite cool, because I do like to look for the positive. So
Yes, you and I both, with that vibe. Yeah.
yeah. So when researching this, I loved this. The impact that gay men were having on the music industry and the bands that have actually defined pop culture. It's always been the gay community, gay men and women, of course, that have led the way for trends of the time. Gay culture has had a monumental impact on mainstream pop music, with Take That just being one of many great examples. Now, we mentioned it earlier, but Brian Epstein, who launched and managed the Beatles, a gay man. And Nigel Martin Smith, Take That's manager, was a gay man.
We just get it.
Right?
Do you know what I mean?
I know. And my goodness, did he unleash those boys on the gay clubs, because he actually had a business in Canal Street in Manchester.
Great night out.
Oh, the best. So good. So later in 1995, the Gay Times named him as one of the most influential gay people in the music industry. Which I
Yes,
think,
Nigel.
go on,
Get in, Nigel.
So over the next few years, Take That were making hit after hit and building up a huge dedicated fan base. I mean, they were one of the biggest bands of the 90s, with hits like Pray,
Oh,
Relight My Fire,
yes.
Come On Lulu, and Could It Be Magic Now? No! Now, the strong impact that they had on all their fans was, let's be real, that sexual awakening they were providing all of those fans. So when the boys split, oh, did that hit those fans hard, because it was all taken away and we weren't going to marry them. 'Cause that's what we truly believe, Jacob.
Were you really one of those Delulu girlies?
Oh, God, yeah. But
Really?
me, it was Robbie.
He was your boy.
Obsessed. But the cracks were beginning to show with one member in particular. Now, we've talked about that Diana Ross effect, and now this is the 90s boy band version. Robbie and Gary were both vying for frontman role, but the egos were really beginning to clash. Now, when I say egos, oh my goodness.
Okay, because these two have egos like mad.
Do you know what? I must give it to them. Finally, in their 50s, they could admit it. And
Yes.
but the obnoxious entitlement that they both had just clashed. And I guess you kind of need that to a certain extent to be the front man of a band. But when you've got two...
That's when it gets tricky.
Earlier this year in 2024, on a podcast, Gary reflected on how obnoxious he and Robbie were when they were younger. He went on to say, if you think about how I turned out at 19, Robbie was only 16 when he joined. So think of what he became like and how it all just became too much. I mean, he couldn't handle me telling him what to do and being in charge. I was right all the time, and I was the leader of the band, and I just wouldn't give that up. I love that Gary is still basically having a bit of shade. He was like, he just couldn't handle it. And I just think this rivalry will never go away. They love each other now, but you know, I mean, oh God, if I had someone been like, I'm in charge, I'm the leader, that would
It's that person in a group that you just never want to have around, let's be real.
Also, I also feel that if you have to say you're the leader, then you're maybe not the leader. It's like when someone says they're an alpha male.
Oh, when someone's desperate to assert their dominance without actually being dominant,
There
it's
you
really
go.
embarrassing.
Yeah, you ain't no alpha male if you have
Yeah.
to say it. So the dynamic of the band was Gary, Howard and Jason, the slightly older ones, and Mark and Robbie were the cool young ones.
Cool kids.
And despite the battle for group lead between Robbie and Gary, Mark was the most popular.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what this market research has been done because I would have voted for Robbie, but I think
But that was at a later date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that they kind of know, and I don't know if this was like on purpose savagery, but their manager, he used to lay out their fan mail so they would see who got the most.
What?
I know.
Sorry, that is so shady.
Imagine just tiny little bundle and then Marks was like, well.
Do you remember when you'd get a Christmas card postbox at primary school? And
Yep.
then at the end of
Yeah.
class, they'd see there are similarities between our generations.
Yes.
They would hand them out at the end of the school day.
Yeah.
And then everyone would be like, I got 4, but I got 8. And then that poor kid that got 0. It was
I
me.
always got 8. I love our different reactions there. Now, I will never not remember this beautiful image of Mark. He was in a video wearing a pink cropped Johnson's baby powder top. I think many a
I
gay
know the
man,
one you mean.
yes, will know my reference.
Not like that.
We will have to put this up on Instagram because he's just so freaking cute. But despite Mark's fan favourite status at the time, as we've mentioned, Robbie and Gary were the two main singers and they were really seen as rivals. It wasn't all down to Robbie and Gary's relationship that the band inevitably then split. Robbie was struggling with alcohol and drug abuse and his mental health was at an all-time low. He really needed out. 5 years after it all started, Robbie made the shock decision that he was leaving the band. Or wait for it, was told to leave.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, that worked out well for him.
Well, it really did. He was like, okay. Now, apparently, he told them that he was going to leave after the tour, but was told quite swiftly by his fellow bandmates, just leave now.
Uh-oh.
But I think what made the timing of the announcement so shocking was they were in the middle of a world tour.
As Justin Timberlake would say, this is going to ruin the world tour.
Oh, dear. But I'll tell you, my darling, it was all good for Robbie because he went on to much bigger success. He segued from boy band into rock pop star. And I would say, when compared to their Gen Z counterpart, a similar trajectory to Harry Styles.
Oh, well, I mean, if we're comparing to One Direction, yeah, Harry's definitely been the breakout solo star. Although I think Liam Payne would beg to differ.
He would have a lot to say in various accents.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Robbie Williams went on to be one of the most successful British artists of all time, selling 75 million records and winning 18 Brit Awards.
That's madness.
Yeah. I don't think anyone could have predicted the success and the impact that Robbie would have had. And clearly, he had fire in his belly because he always wanted to beat Gary, and that definitely spurred him on to crazy levels of success. In 1997, Robbie released his first album, Life Through a Lens. Now, this album included the single Angels, which is still his best-selling single of all time. By 2008, Williams had sold more albums in the UK than any other British solo artist in history. It's phenomenal.
That is phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
And without the Take That rivalry and the split, we wouldn't have had the Robbie effect on pop culture. So when we're talking early noughties, he really did define that ladette culture.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, like think your Kelly Brooks, your Denise Van Outens, your Big Breakfast. I even remember annoyingly being influenced as a wee ghetto, leaning into it. I wanted to be like cool, like the lads, when actually I was cool anyway.
You're the coolest, Sarah.
I know. But it really was. It was cool to wear football strips. It was, do you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Which I'm not saying was the healthiest time in our pop culture, but it was what was happening. And in 2004, he was inducted into the UK Music Hall of Fame after being voted as the greatest artist of the 1990s.
His impact really was unparalleled, really, at that time.
He also gave us some absolute bangers. Like, I still love a lot of Robbie's
let me
music.
entertain you. Rock DJ. I mean, oh my goodness, when it comes on, you best believe I'm shaking that tushy.
Oh, yes. And that is what Robbie always wanted. And at the same time as all of this was happening, poor Gary, he was sitting in the sidelines.
Oh, Gary, yes, you forgot about him.
And he had a bitter jealousy watching Robbie's success.
Yeah.
He has come out and said he went through depression, he put on weight, but...
You know what? I get it.
Oh, God, yeah.
That must have been really rough.
Really difficult.
Because it was, these things are all so luck-based, really.
Yes.
They're all talented. But I feel like Gary ended up having his moment as a sort of older fellow. Not that he was that old, but,
You're a Gandalf. No, you're right, though. You are.
But he really did. He really popped off. My mum's a big Gary lover.
Aww.
I feel like he's one for the mums.
Oh, 100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a life lesson for us all, isn't it? Like, what's for you won't go by you.
Exactly.
At your time, you'll have your
We'll all
moment.
get our moment.
100%. Now, Gary has admitted himself that he needed to fail because his ego was so big at the time. And I think when you're constantly surrounded by people saying you're the one, you're going to make it.
Sometimes you need a bit of humbling.
Yeah.
And the universe humbled Gary, that's for sure.
It sure did. But the theatre of it all was quite fun to watch. And now we, of course, all know that Robbie was struggling with addiction. So yes, achieving great success.
On the outside.
But struggling on the inside. So I would say you can look at Take That split in two parts. 1995, Robbie left. Sarah, heartbroken.
How did you cope?
Do you know, I think I was so Robbie that I was like, it's fine. I'll just be a Robbie fan.
Okay.
My sister's not so happy.
Really?
Yeah, interesting depending on who you liked in the band.
So did the group split when Robbie left?
Not yet. Which I kind of forgot. In my mind, I would have misremembered it as when Robbie left, that was it. But it was not the case. I mean, we see it for so many others. It was the trigger for the end of the band.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Gary...
The days were numbered.
Yeah. Gary, Mark and Howard talk on their podcast, Take That, This Life, which was released this year, 2024, about how just that, mentally, it kind of was the end. And they would chat about how much they would need to change as a band to crack America. They all admit, they sat back and they said to themselves, do you know what, we've actually really achieved so much.
Oh my goodness, yes.
We don't want to change who we are. I think they all just felt it was ready. So only a year later, maybe months, depending on when that announcement was made, in 1996, they officially split. But this is when the true fans, shall we say, not just me, the Robbie fan, their world fell apart. And we saw scenes we would not see again until One Direction split. Get ready, because this is crazy.
Oh.
So record company switchboards were jammed with calls from distraught fans trying to come to terms with the shock split. I mean, I don't know who they thought they were going to get through to. Put me on to Gary. How did you do this, Gary? There was volunteers pulled in as counsellors at the Samaritans and Childline as they were on standby yes, to deal with the deluge of phone calls following the announcement. Wait, and more.
You can't see my face right now, to those of you listening, but I'm very shook by this news.
Literally. The emotions and outpouring was nothing like we'd seen in pop culture since Beatlemania 30 years earlier. We had tearful teenagers setting up makeshift shrines with posters, flowers and candles outside HMV record store in Oxford Street. Absolute iconic and my favourite daytime show this morning.
Oh.
So they had a helpline on their show. Do you want to guess how many grieving fans called their helpline on their show?
I don't think I want to know.
200,000.
Oh, gosh.
But I think when we're talking about this, we imagine like little teeny bopper Sarah and my sisters, like that kind of age. All ages.
Adults.
40 and 50-year-olds ringing in tears. University students saying that they could not continue with their courses. And one woman in her 30s saying that she could not go to work today. Which I think she just wanted a day off.
Yeah, that part I get.
It's like, not use this excuse.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Now, luckily for these fans, it wasn't the end of Take That. And although they had to wait 10 years, in 2006, they were back with a bang. And what an album.
Yes.
Beautiful
Right,
World.
because I'm going to jump in for a second and say this is when, of course, this is when I was alive. So this is... But
Yeah.
this was my sort of first coming
Excellent.
of Take That. My mum had the Greatest Hits album,
Right.
never forget. And we used to listen to that in the car. I used to dance along, sing along, and I absolutely loved it.
Yes.
Absolutely loved it. So those are my sort of formative memories when it comes to Take That. And then, of course, they started releasing new music again.
Of course. So this is Gen Z's introduction to Take That.
Yeah.
And they gave you some good tracks. It could be argued, and I think that this is the case, the band as a four-piece went on to have even more success.
Yeah, that checks out.
I think their second rodeo, I mean, the albums that they produced, The Circus, obviously.
Love that one.
Yeah, Beautiful World and Progress. These all feature tracks such as Greatest Day and The
Yeah.
Flood. I think any band would love to have the success of just one of those albums.
Yeah. And The Flood was special because that's when another certain member rejoined the group.
Indeed. Which I kind of forget about.
Do you?
Yeah, like I think I see it as like, Take That, Robbie left, Robbie success, Take That went on and smashed it. I never really enjoyed it because I felt it was a wee bit half-arsed. It was...
Well, it was only for the one album, right?
Yeah,
That's the part that surprised me. I was like, oh, he's gone again.
Yeah.
And we also got that disturbing duet with Gary Barlow.
What, Robbie and Gary?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they were, like you say, a phenomenal success. So the Circus tour sold out in less than 5 hours, making it the fastest selling UK tour in history.
Wow.
And as a three-piece now, Gary, Mark and Howard.
They're still going at it.
Yeah.
It's cute for the nostalgia.
Yeah. I would say, I think...
I think they can give up with the dance moves, if I'm quite honest with you.
Right.
But,
no.
of course, great singers, great performers. Also, they know what they're doing, you know?
The sound isn't as like Take That now as the original sound.
No.
But on the dancing, which Jacob and I love to share a little...
We do just share back and forth.
of this trio of Take That trying to dance. But I thought about it. See if Gary can't dance very well now. He used to.
Oh, yes. But you know what it is? It's dad dancing.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I think that's enough said. Now, I think I can prove to you, Jacob, that they were more successful the second time round. They had endless tours, and this is why. 4 out of their 5 top best-selling songs are actually from their more recent years.
Wow.
Do you want to guess?
I'm going to go for the reunion song with Robbie, which would be The Flood.
That is in there, number 4.
I would also say something like Patience or Shine.
Yeah, so Patience is number 3. I would have thought Shine was in there.
Shine's in my personal top 5. That's all I'm saying.
So Back for Good is still number 1. It's their biggest selling song to date.
I want you back. Want You Back.
And they sold 1.1 million copies. Then in number 2, Rule the World. Number 3.
Love that one. It reminds me of Stardust. Did you ever watch that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, what a throwback. Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert De
Yes.
Niro. What a cast.
Rule the World is quite magical, isn't it?
It is.
Number 3, you got correct. Patience. Number 4, you got The Flood. And number 5 was Never Forget.
Never. I'm so sorry to all of you that are listening.
And that was the last song recorded with Robbie for 15 years. Until
Wow.
they reunited.
I love that song. We've come so far.
You do love that song. But I mean, Pray, could it be magic? It only takes a minute. I mean, just so many, isn't there?
So many Relight My Fire, don't forget Lulu.
Oh, Lulu. But really, they've captured and sustained a nostalgic effect like not many other bands have. And simultaneously, still having achieved great chart success.
Honestly, so much credit to them. Like the
Yeah.
longevity has really been giving with these guys. And I mean, they're still selling out tours to this day.
Yeah. And I think it does give a testament to Gary's songwriting skills.
High key agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does write fantastic songs. And also, at the age he was writing those
Yeah.
songs.
And although, of course, devastating for us fans at the time, their fan base has remained incredibly loyal.
You're
and
loyal,
it's-
babes.
I'm loyal, babe. And has paved the way for so many other Brit pop bands like Westlife, The Wanted, Boyzone 5, the list goes on. And they've followed that similar boy band formula, the
Yeah.
take that started.
Yeah. And with the two rivals, Gary and Robbie, both going on to be judges on talent shows.
Absolutely fantastic.
On our next episode, we enter the world of the X Factor machine.
Woo!
Its talent show predecessors and the pop group phenomenons they produced, who took over the globe until it all went south.
I can't wait.
I can't bloody wait. I'll see you there.
See you there.
Hi guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Poppy C Pod.
Whilst we've collected our information from reputable sources, the opinions and views expressed do not necessarily reflect or represent those who we've discussed in this episode.
As much as we would have loved to have witnessed these Poppy C moments in person,
Sadly, we did not.
and this episode is a combination of in-depth research and our own opinions.
Make sure to check out the Poppy C Pod on Instagram at the Poppy C Podcast.
And at the Poppy C Pod on all other socials.
Please leave us a 5-star review on your podcast streaming service.
It really does make the world of difference to an independent podcast like our own.
Thanks, darlings, and see you next time on
The Poppy C Pod.